I got a puncture again. Oh no! That actually feels sort of hard there. I do. I still got a puncture again, even though it feels bloody hard. How can that feel so hard? Got a puncture again. I brought both my narrow wheels back. I got this tyre fitted the other day. I ordered a tyre months and months ago because I was doing some topping with that mower, international mower, behind this, and I hit some ruts, and I must have been going second gear, pretty low revs. Oh, bouncing on the ruts. Just where wet spots where the cows have been messing about, and oh, bouncy. And I must have pinched it because the next morning I went out to do some more, and the bloody thing was flat. I went forward a few yards and started to turn, and I went, oh, that's not right. I'm gonna swap both out when I'm at it, and because I put both the wheels off of that diesel tractor I have on, and blinking hell, this wheel, the rim's fucked on it. Look, you can see that. It's splitted in several places, and it wobbles because of that there side of the rims fucked and crumped, and you can see it split up there, and oh, nasty. So I'm gonna get that sorted, and then I'm gonna do the pig litter today. So things might be together enough. I might manage to muck the pig out, and I'd like to do some welding today as well, but we'll see how that goes. I might go fuck it and go watch a film on the Blu-ray instead. Get her done, boys. Get the tyre up close. Dad was out feeding yesterday, so he took it out, and overnight it must have got a puncture or some sort. I don't know. He might have pumped it up a bit before. It is black as well. I don't know. But I don't know, it went flat overnight, I think. I didn't notice anything when I came here. Last night. I was out working yesterday, so horses and whatnot needed a bail, and so Dad took it out. That's how things go. Things get going. Still got it. When I put these wheels on, I re-lubricated the hubs because they leak like Granny did or something, and they leak like the whole tractor's leaking like a baby, and both axles are leaking. The other side was dry, and the hub bearing was like, no wonder the wheel was wobbling. The hub was nearly gonna fall off. No, not quite that bad, but I don't know, it worn in well or something. It weren't so good, and so I timed that up, and I put both of these wheels on in the meantime, and was preparing to buy new tyres. But you know, being Christmas and all that, or more or less very near, I sort of got it in. I saw how it was wobbling. I went, I need to change one rim, and I need to get 5 more tyres on top of that. Was it that many? 4 more. 1 new wheel and 4 more tyres for the other wheels I have. And I want to put new tyres on. I bought one in a sale that isn't really any good, but the rim's good enough, and I might put that on a baler I want to fix. And then there's that tractor with a P3 on it. It's not going well, but I still need tyres to put on that. Could really do with some help to figure that out, because I just can't get I can't get the liners in. I think I'm just gonna horn it the outside of a liner, you know, like a polishing type setup on the lathe when I get that fixed. I might do that today, I don't know. Oh, so there's no double tight in this business. Too slack. Trouble is, studs are expensive to replace. That'll probably do. Right, I'm going to do the other side off camera. See you later. 10 minutes later, it's all done. Not bad. I'd say that the front wheel needs a bit more air, but I doubt it. Well, I don't know. They like to be 10 pounds under. That there needs more air. Let's see. It says somewhere there. It's made in India. Wonderful. It says, I think it's here. I can't read it. 35 psi. I think that's what it says. It might be 55. I hope it actually is 55, but I think it's 45. Doesn't matter because I'm putting 55 or 60 in it. That's what I have in this one, you see. Because the front loader is just, well, even without the front loader, it does sort of compress quite a bit at 35 psi. So she's getting some tea. Nah, that stuff needs good air. I wanted another tyre like that with the ribs in it because I think they have better surface area on the road and it'll turn better in the mud rather than a free rib job. But yeah, it can't be helped. My nave's broken down. I was at it. I was gonna bore out a pulley to work my plucking machine. I had a fit and it's not working anymore. It does turn, but I've had a wire come loose or the switch has gone bad. Possibly switch has gone bad. I've heard something on a forum about somebody who had their lathe constantly overheating, you know, overload switch going off on it. I'm thinking to myself, if he's got his idea right, then mine is about the same. I'm just going to take a look here. I sort of got a look at at what was arcing, although I'm not entirely sure. The whole problem with this is it's all very oily. I don't like it. It's got, it's probably, well, possibly residue coming out of well, because it's central of that switch coming through the switch from the bed. Or it shouldn't be because there's all sorts of guards over it, but anyway. I was thinking I'd do a little word about what's going on this year, because today it's the 31st, and so, you know, all happy that the year's about over, and I'll pretend to start anew. If only. Now, like every other sod, I don't really do that, but many do. Yeah, I haven't shown very much on camera this year. A little bit. Done a couple of videos. That won't come out. But I've shown a bit. What I haven't shown is just how many things I've bought, how much money I've wasted. Not quite as much as my brother, but still quite a bit. And you know, they say that you gotta spend money to make money. I got a topper, a nice heavy duty topper. I got a wheel to put on that. I was topping one day and damn wheel come off. But I don't know. I haven't gotten very many paid welding jobs this year. I've more or less been waiting all year to get something. I got things lined up, but typical for most of their customers. I did fix one topper. One topper, we'll say a friend of mine. He ran it into something. He's always running his stuff into something. I think he got a new tractor, I can't remember, mid last year, and within the second week of having it, he must have broken at least one door, or maybe a back window, I can't remember. He's got a damn straw chopper, and you know how those things are. You open the window to get the boarding in, and you get in and you lift it up and oh shit, my window's gone. But he's pretty bad at looking after his equipment anyway. Well, since end of summer, I said once you finished, I asked then, when you finished topping, please bring it over so that I have enough time to do it, so I don't have to rush. Hasn't done it, but I'll be getting round to him in short time. I did have a job lined up, well, not lined up, I talked to somebody about a job welding hurdles up. It's not very much, but you know, it's a sort of thing. I know it's a bad idea, but maybe it's best to do it anyway. Not because doing hurdles up is anything particularly complicated, but you know, you get old thin rusted hurdles that have broken up and, you know, cracked and whatnot, and you weld it up and you know it's going to crack again if it doesn't hold on at all, you know, galvanized stuff and whatnot. But work's work, and you gotta take on stuff to start. It's sort of like, I was listening to this boy from Fairbanks, I think, Howie's machine shop, and he's quite cool with his machining stuff. Another person who's actually at it, not just a hobbyist. Not as in another person to add to me, I am a hobbyist, but you know, somebody, I think, what was it, Mike Fenner or something like that, he did turn right machine works, he was quite good. Then you have stuff like Trouble Kane and stuff as well. I don't watch much of him anymore. Well, I never have. It's a bit too boring. I like watching the people who watch him instead of him himself. Although he has quite interesting tool show-offs and whatnot. I've lost the footage of actually talking about Howie's story, but his saying was basically there's two types of machinists. One's old and experienced and he has all the kit, but he's got a lot of work and he's a little bit tired. And so somebody comes to him with a job and he knows he could do it, but I can't really be bothered. So he says, I can't do it. And then there's a second type of machinist, and he's young and he's eager to go. And somebody asks him if he can take too far worth of this or another. And he says, I got you. And he goes to the job and he's only got a hammer and a file, but say in 2 years, sure enough, he's done the job with his hammer and file. I'm not quite on par with first or second, but it's the sort of thing when you're starting off, at least, you sort of got to be ready to do what other people might not want to do. Was it Mike Fenner and I think it was Mike, I can't remember now. Keith, not Mike, Keith. And I like this old Tony, but he doesn't make all that many videos. You know, inheritance machining has gotten quite big now, and he's quite interesting. Not a full-time machinist or anything, but the thing is, it's quite nice to when somebody can communicate. It's nice to see them learn as well. You know, it's a good model to how not to do it, and sometimes how to do it. But you know, people underestimate that. You see lots of people and they say, oh damn you on YouTube, because somebody says it on YouTube, that's the way, and you think to yourself, no you twat. You watch people on YouTube because you can see many different people instead of just your sod in your neighbourhood. You can see lots of people doing things lots of different ways, and you can see how it works for them. And then you can decide if whose way do you want to try. And you know, I find it funny how so many people are just troubled by people my age. Oh, you don't listen or whatnot, and it's not true. I question too much. I just say too much, isn't it? I bought a lot of different liners to try and find something that will fit that P3. It's funny because you get an early one with a step on it, if I have gotten an early one with a step on it, and it doesn't fit. So I've got, and I've tried one for a Dexter as well, and that one has got a larger edge on it. So it may be a P3 out of a later 35 or 135, and that would be sort of annoying because I've got all the wrong parts. Then I think what I'm going to do, probably after this lathe is working again, is I'm just going to like that, right, I'm just gonna put the correct size liners, correct horned liners in the lathe, and I'm just gonna polish them, get some emery paper. I've got telescoping gauges, and I think maybe I've got a 3 to 4 micrometer. I could use a veneer gauge. It really doesn't matter. I can measure to 1,000th of an inch roughly even with a mechanical gauge. I think I might be able to do a half thousandth, but probably 1,000th. I can't remember. And to be honest, it doesn't really matter, does it? It's not fitting right now. Dad's been at it with a damned emery flap wheel on a drill, so he's bored out 2 of them a couple of hours, and I doubt it's even, but can't help it. That's just him in a rush going, oh, you're fucking about, and yeah. I just didn't agree with that, you know. I didn't think it was a good idea, and I still don't. I think it's a bit stupid, and I would have liked that he hadn't done it. But he was getting, oh, if you're not going to get straight at it, I'm going to have to do it myself, and it is not. It's not. I've bought a couple of liners since then to try, and I meant to send them back because they don't fit, but yeah. Anyway, plans for next year. I'm not going to manage it, but well, not all of it, maybe some of it. I don't think I'm going to manage to make myself a chicken tractor so I can have my laying hens moved out in the field, you know. I can move them every couple of days or something. I got fence ready for it, and I've got axles. I want to make the yeah, well, I want to make a chicken tractor so that I can have my laying hens out. I was thinking I'd make a sort of a pipe frame wagon running gear like they have in America. Not because it's any easier than doing anything else. I'd be way better off just to use, well, I'd be way better off even just to make a regular turntable wagon gear like we have here, or mostly, you know. There are steering axle types, but you know, nobody has those. So I'd like to make that because I think it'll be good and stable out in the field. I think it'll be easy pips to hitch up to it with anything. You know, like I could make it a single axle trailer, easy peasy. But you know, to keep it stable, I'd have to maintain a jack for it. I really do like wagons, you know. So I'd like to have a wagon for that. I'd like to sort out my plow. I've been ploughing. I was going to film it, but I forgot the battery and SD card for the camera. Well, SD card anyway, and so I fucked it. But I was gonna do that. I've been fiddling with my plough. It was only Sunday I did that, so a couple of days ago. So I did that a couple of days ago. Just took the plough out. I went, shit, I still haven't ploughed before putting potatoes in. It might as well be a couple of months now and just have later potatoes, but you know, something midsummer jobs instead of Easter potatoes, you know. but new potatoes is nice. With. I'm gonna get my muck spreader sorted. I did show it working, but then the chain broke on it. And it's so worn, I've gone, right, I'll just find a new chain. It'll be expensive, but whatever, I gotta find somebody to get chain with. And the company I'd been researching beforehand isn't really sure of a brand that they're meant to supply, so they're meant to anti-friction components in Swansea, I think, is meant to supply Diamond Drives by Timken, and Diamond Drives makes T-bar and T-rod chain, which is, I ain't got anything to show it, but old-fashioned muck spreader chain. You've got we'll say this is a square, and you've got a little hook like this on it. You've got your bar, and it's got a bit of flat poking out of it. You've got to rotate it like that, and then it goes in. It slides in from the side, and it goes in, and then when it's straight, it can't come back out. And that's regardless of if it's under tension or not. When it wears out, it will just pop out like that, instead of just sliding from the side. So I'm going to try and put this old one together now, without the links sort of broken on it, because I've got room to shorten it. It was probably too slack to begin with me. And what's going to happen is, as I try and lift it to place, it's just going to go whoop, and it's all going to come apart as I try to put it together. Now, the T-bar and T-rod chains, they've got like a sort of a spring gate, a bit like that. And so what you do, you have your square, and now when it's in, it's like that, and the spring gate's off the hook, so they go like this, and they can't come out. How you get them in is you just twist them. The square is long enough twisted that you can pop it up, and then you twist it straight, and it's there. So you go like that instead of like that, and I think when it's worn, it doesn't fall out as bad, I think. Now what I need is, I need a 2.5 inch pitch, and I need somewhere in the region of 130 links. I think that's right, because it's what is it, 5 or 6? 6, we'll say 6 links per foot, and it's a 10-foot bed, so oh no, maybe it's way more than that. Shit. Maybe it is 300 links or something. I don't know. 250, 300, thereabout. And so I need to just make a whole new chain and be done with it. I need 2.5 inch pitch, and it's about 1 inch wide to the cog. Otherwise, I gotta bite the bullet, and not only have I got to get a new chain, but I gotta get the new sprockets for it as well, and I've gotta take the machine apart enough to get the new sprockets in, and that'll probably involve changing some of the shafts out, because they're too rusted to sort them out without breaking things. So it's bloody annoying, because I've spent money on that now. I want it going because I can use it on the Fergie. I couldn't even use it on a car if the field was dry enough. And it'd be nice to have that, as well as I've got 2 other PTO drive muck spreaders rear discharge that I want to fix. I'm not going to manage this year or next year. Forget this year. I'm not going to manage it next year even. And maybe not the year after that, because I doubt I'll have time, I doubt I'll have money, both of which don't have chains left on them. They've been nicked or sold or whatever, and so I just don't have it. And that's annoying, because chains for rear discharge muck spreaders are bloody difficult to get. When you get a new muck spreader, they don't even supply those. Not for reasonable prices. You're looking at £2, £2.50, £3 thereabouts for a link. You know, you make 500 links on a tidy spreader. You're looking at serious money. Now, several machines, they use regular chain in the special chain drive sprockets like you find on the hoists and stuff. And maybe those are a bit cheaper, so long as you can find the correct link of chain, which sometimes is more difficult than it might seem. And I might try that, because to be honest, if T-rod chain is very expensive, then I might as well just make custom chain drivers and just sort it out. But I've got two SKH style spreaders, one New Idea and one International. I'd like both of which running, because I'd really prefer rear discharge than side, the drum types, more for just cleanliness, you know. You can fill them up maybe a bit more sometimes. They are more complicated, but you know, they take less power and they're cleaner. You don't get as much mud over you of a tractor, especially when I haven't got cabs on the tractors I run here. Then I'm gonna want it, then, aren't I? So I've got that to do. I want to repipe not repipe, I want to put lots of new pipes on the tractor, because the Fergie's pissing like a baby, and I want to return on it so that I can run the log splitter. An uncle of mine has a log splitter. I'm trying to get some wood sorted out because I'd like to sell some wood in the future, and I'd like to burn some more myself. Now I might have done a cord already by hand, just an axe and wedges. It's working, but if I can sort the log splitter out, it'd streamline things a little bit. I got lots of trees that I need to sort out as well, so yeah. What else? Looking to get sheep. Depends somewhat on if land stays quite available. I've inquired, and I think I've got possibility of running sheep, especially next door. There's cows next door, but the ragwort's getting pretty bad. Yeah, there's cows next door and there's ragwort getting pretty bad, so if I could get some sheep and then I could manage them well enough, I might have some chance next door to keep sheep. What else? I gotta finish sorting that front loader out, make some pins for it when the lathe's running again, because I still haven't got I've got 1 1/8" pins in it. It needs 1 1/4" pins with tidy tapers and a recess for an arm pin to sit in, so that the thing's tight, because it's not tight I'm afraid of a damn thing coming loose on the road and tipping stuff out on the road, because sometimes I carry stuff on it on the road. I haven't had that problem yet, but I'm afraid of it. I gotta sort that pin out because it's a bit corroded, and the grease nipple as well. Just if I greased it often, it'd get way better. But I think if I'd make a new pin for it as well, and maybe reinforce that tube and clean, you know, maybe try and heat shrink it and then run a horn or some of those embry cloth flap wheels through it, inside it, and clean it off. It might get a little better then. I'd like to put quick attach on it, a bit like the Massey Ferguson loaders did. Now I haven't actually seen any in person, nor have I seen any pictures of them working, but I know they're a thing where you've just got a hook and there's a pin that you can sort of pull from the tractor seat that just comes up, and you can just hook implements up. I think that's brilliant. If I can do that, that would be brilliant, but it's not going to happen straight away. If I had to forge a lot of these things, it'd get easier. I still haven't sorted out my well, I haven't got an anvil, Dad's anvil. might be able to get a stump now, but I'm halfway through making an anvil stand for the last 8 months or something, maybe a little more. I might get round to welding that now again, but the welder's back in. I got the welder in tonight. I still haven't welded up the tractor bonnet. The Fergie's got maybe half a dozen holes too many in it, so I gotta weld that up when I get round to it. I want to make a plasma cutter. I might show a bit of that. I got the printer, 3D printer back when, and so I might make JD Garage's plasma cutter because I got plans for it. I've seen that they have an XL plasma cutter now, but there's a half sheet or maybe even a full sheet, so I'm thinking I'll try to make that. I'm not entirely sure if I were to make it a full sheet, which I would very much like to make a full sheet cutter, because you know, nobody wants to fuck about with cutting sheets down before putting it in the plasma cutter. I want to put the sheet in and cut as much as I can out of a sheet and then put a new sheet in later type job. So I may fiddle with that. I'm sort of thinking, if so, then I'm going to have to make it go on the short end and have the x-axis on the short end and have a y-axis on the long end. I haven't figured that out yet, but I may fiddle with it. Trouble is I think the extra large model is more expensive and I haven't bought that. I think the price of the plans has gone up to about $45, and you know, got the money. I might just fiddle with it myself. I can do a bit of chord modification if I got to, not easily, but I can do it, and I might fiddle with that. If I have a plasma cutter here, you know, I'll be able to take on more work. I'll be able to make more things myself faster, perhaps even more cheaply. So that would be nice, you know. I'm making implements all the time. Why not just draw it out, cut it out, and off to the races. So plasma cutters on the list. I've printed half a printed parts out already. I'll print some more when I've got figured out what size material I'm going to use, what size box and whatnot I'm going to use. I don't know, I could add more to WhatsApp list. I'll get to this TIG welding before I fall asleep.